right?
Yes, sir.
So y'all got it now. Let's talk about some changes to my proposed budget. Let's put it that way. I know there were some items of concern. Murray, let's talk about you first.
Yes, sir.
I think it was brought to my attention that maybe we don't have quite enough money in there on vehicles.
Correct. Yes, sir.
You're getting vehicles, total package per vehicle is what?
Right around 70.
70.
Yes, sir.
We have 130 in there, so it would need to be 140.
All right. Is that good?
Yes, sir. I can make 140 work on that.
And then the motor vehicle equipment, we had lowered that from 40 to 25,
Yes, sir.
but in conversation, it takes about 17 to do each one, so we need to
That
change
went up a whole lot lately, because one time
It has.
10 or 11,000.
It has. Everything's gone up in cost, just like everything else
So
in
we need to change
stores.
that to 35 instead of 25.
Yes, sir. If we could do 35, we can make that work. I think this year it was 40, and we've used more than that, but we can make that work as a compromise. We'll work with that.
So we're 140 and 35.
That'd be awesome.
One other areas, we need to talk about some more money. You were needing a little bit more money.
Yes, sir.
I know I asked you at one point in time if you considered something. Did you consider that at all?
I've looked at it. I don't have prices on everything, so I hate to commit one way or the other. What we're trying to do with that SB money is buy bigger projects and not have to burden the taxpayers with that. We know it depends on what the computer's system comes up with and all that. One of the systems we're trying to do is just like y'all went to laptops a couple of years ago or a couple of months ago. We're trying to go with the laptop in the car to let the guys stay out in the fields and work and not have to come back to the office as much. In order to do that, we're looking anywhere from 175 to 220, which would be almost every bit of that SB money. But I don't have prices on all of it depending on computer, and we want to make sure what we can do is going to work with IT. So we don't want to waste money. So we're trying to use that state money coming in to use for those projects and not have to burden the taxpayer with those. So I hate to commit that money to using for something when what we're asking for is essentially $55,000, which is a drop in the bucket on the county budget just to stay competitive. We're not trying to get above. We're not trying to get close to. We're just trying to stay competitive with the locals.
If I understand that figure was 60,000.
I believe it was 56,
56, 784.
yes,
Yeah,
sir.
sure. It was 2704 and also do that $1.30,
$1.30 for 21.
and that gets us $27.
That would get us to 27.
Let me say this.
And then yeah, the FTIC was 60.
Let me say this. I know that it's always been, since I've been here, every year, what's the Mayor paying? What's Gross Bay paying? We need to stay close to where they're paying. We need to try to stay as close as we can. So when you presented your budget, you didn't know what they were going to do.
Correct.
They deleted the positions.
We deleted positions last year and the year before.
Hang on a second. They deleted positions this year. Groesbeck deleted one and Mahay deleted two in order to get those raises. And now then we're trying to match what they did, become smaller units. I just think that the SB 22 was the way that was designed for pay.
Yes, sir.
They designed for it.
That and equipment. And we have given up positions. As a matter of fact, I'm giving my glasses, I'm blind, so I can't see. But I took office in January of 21. We gave up a deputy spot voluntarily in that budget so we could get to $21 or $22 an hour. Then we had an auto theft investigator taken away that year, that same budget. So that was another officer. And then we had another investigator the year before in 2019, 2020 that was taken away. So we've given up 3 or 4 officers and our pay is at $23 an hour. We're using SB money to get to $25 an hour. Groesbeck and Mahay is paying $28, almost $29 an hour and looking at a 5%, 3 to 5% raise. So I can compete if we can stay within $3 an hour. If we get $5 and $6 an hour behind, we can't compete with them.
Let me ask
Keeping officers.
Let me ask you this. Your total package with FICA is like 60,000. What if we put 40,000 in the budget toward getting this $1.30? Could you do 20 out of that 300 and something thousand you've got to get there?
We could, but we would like to do it the other way, because if that money goes away, then we're right back to square one with where we're at in the county, and that's one of the things we're trying to avoid. We're all the way back, yes. So what we're looking at trying to do, it's not just locals. I mean, it is. When I say locals, I mean Groesbeck, Mahan. We've lost officers to Fremont PD, Riesel PD, Temple PD, everywhere else that we have officers that we're training, we're paying for, we're putting on the streets that are getting $5, $6, $7 an hour more to stay within the same area and not move and go to work somewhere.
And when we created a positive for us, we would pay for them to go to school and sign a contract to stay.
They're all doing the same thing.
Then they follow us.
Correct.
Let's just make sure that we're clear about something. The SB 22 was not a fair program at all.
Depends on which side of the fence you're on, Judge.
Well, I'm just telling you,
So,
if you'll let me complete my sentence.
yes, sir.
The SB 22 was not very thought out by the state. And the reason I'm saying that is because if you have Freestone with 18 deputies, you have Leon County with 16 deputies, Robertson with 18 and 19 deputies. They don't have a jail that they have to, that some of that money had to go to.
Correct.
We had to get people up. And so they're able to give their deputies a lot more money than we can give ours.
And like today, I think we're holding 31 inmates from Freestone County. We're holding 6 from Leon County. All that money goes to general fund. Our phone revenue from the jail alone is almost 25, sometimes $30,000 a month. LCDC is $30,000 a month. It's not like the money's not coming in that can cover what we're asking for in a short amount of time we're generating.
But in all fairness, the point I'm trying to make here was that they're getting of the 350,000 that was allocated.
Yes, sir.
They can divide it up a lot larger pieces of pie than what we can divide it.
You are correct.
And then in addition to that, they don't have $1 million a year payment to a facility like we have out there.
That's correct.
So it's really penalizing it's not, we gotta have it. You gotta have law enforcement. There's no way around it. It's just that at what point do we stop? At what point can we stop? Maybe we can't. So we're asking you, or I think we're gonna ask you, or we're gonna consider it, is saying, hey, look, we're coming up with part of it. You help us out to come up with part of it. You don't wanna do that.
I'm not saying I won't
You'd rather not
work with you. I'd rather not do it.
Well, sure
Just
you
like I asked for 4 vehicles. We bought vehicles out of seizure money. We bought vehicles out of the SB money. Not to do that. We buy vehicles for the jail out of the jail commissary money, not to have to come to commissioners to ask for money. So we're doing everything we can do to lower our debt. We didn't ask for an increase in any other line in the budget this year. And I would venture to say not many people did that when they turned in their stuff. So we're trying to work with you. Only thing we're asking for is a very minimal amount, not to get above, not to even match pay, but just to get close in pay. And we're generating that money in other sources. So it's not like we're coming and asking for something that's not available. I mean, even just a minute ago, I think there was 200 something thousand in LCDC fund. And we pulled 180 out for a dump truck. I mean, so 55,000 is a very small, trivial amount is what we're asking for.
Let's don't talk about apples and oranges here. That's two separate things, and that shouldn't be in the same conversation. What you do and what they do are completely separate.
Exactly. I'm just saying there's money there. I'm not asking for something that's not there. Bottom line is y'all make the choice, y'all make the decisions, and y'all voted.
The money's
We're
there.
just
What
asking.
we'd like to do is, the bottom line is, we want to reduce that tax rate down so that the citizens of Limestone County don't have to pay as much on January 31st.
And that's exactly what I'm trying to do. By using that SB money, which is coming from the state, to be able to fund a project to get computers or better the cameras, which help the prosecution, which helps get the people off the street. When we can take that lump sum of 175,000 to 200,000, whatever it is, from that money and not have to come to the court and say, hey, in your budget this year, instead of lowering taxes, raise the taxes because we need $200,000 to get this project done. So what we're trying to do is use that money to get these big projects and then use the county money, which is a very small amount.
What's the total amount of the SB 22?
350.
350. And how much of that goes to the salaries that you'd already done?
Natasha will have to ask that. I think this year
$2 an hour.
it was $2 an hour for deputies and
then
$1
you're
an
gonna
hour
buy a
for
car out of that, which.
We bought 2, yes.
Yeah. Well, this coming year, you're probably gonna buy 1.
Yes, sir. And we got that now with what was left for the prices go up on the next
So you
one.
figured the raises that were already incurred last year, plus the $70,000 for a car, plus equipment.
And we're almost at 0. Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
So anyway, all we're doing is asking.
Anything else that y'all want to visit with? I think we did the budget pretty well. Was there any other items that y'all could think of, that y'all heard about or talked about?
Well, we got to make a decision to draw the budget that we're going to end up eventually voting on, whether we're going to add that $1.30 an hour, which comes out to $60,000 into the budget, or whether we're going to add 40 or what we're going to add to get to the $27 an hour. You got to bite that bullet one way or the other. You got to have it to do the deal.
Well,
Getting off that just a second, could we, in this budget workshop, can we say we're committed to 3% across the board raise for the employees of Limestone County so that they can publish the elected official salaries?
sure.
I mean, I'm for that.
Well, what about 10%?
I think 3% would.
I mean, I'm just saying, if we're gonna spend money, we're not gonna stop, are we? We're gonna spend everything we can. I'm being facetious.
I know.
Do that. Yes, I think we're all agreeing, 3%.
So you got that in this proposed budget already?
Yes, I did.
I just wanted to make sure we were all on record of doing that so that they can publish the public official salaries.
All right. Anything else that we need to do as far as this?
On your question that you were just asking him about the SB 22 and how much of it was salaries, of the 350,000, 227,518 covers the salary portion.
But that's of his deputies and the.
Yes, that's deputies in jail, yes, because it all comes out of that. And that includes the retirement and taxes. That's all.
So when he does a car for 85,
70, so it's
70 plus 15, 18, whatever, so 90. That's gonna leave,
Because he has out of the 350, he has 122,400 available to use for equipment or projects, what he's wanting to do, a vehicle and whatnot.
so that'll leave with about 30. So how much was these camera deals?
we don't have exact prices on everything yet.
Yeah, but I mean, 40,000, 30,000,
They're probably gonna be more than that. Yes, sir.
that doesn't leave 20 to go with this.
Is that, help me, I mean, I'm just asking another question. Is that something that everybody else around us is using and we're just behind? We're behind?
No, we
We're
have,
gonna have the latest and greatest and everybody else will have.
we have body cameras and we have cameras in the vehicles, which we're required to have by law. We have those. What we're trying to do is get a system that is up to date, that the body cameras and the car cameras are the same system. So the car cameras, we don't use that brand of body cam. So we'd have to go to the same brand body cam. And then when you pull up to the building, instead of having to physically pull discs out of the computers out of the recording device to go into the office, it automatically downloads when it gets there, and it puts your body cam and your car camera where it's a seamless view. So when you get so far away, it merges them together. So when it goes to the district attorney's office for prosecution, your body camera, your car camera, everything's there seamlessly, and it's all attached to a report and put in that way.
Now, my understanding is the new computer system will allow us to do that, where we can't do it now.
Yes, so it'll help facilitate the speed. We don't even have Wi-Fi out there at the sheriff's office right now, so I have to include that. But
That's all part of
I'm
the
gonna put that-
$600,000.
Yes, yes, I'm gonna put that in there.
And it's all a hand-in-hand deal. That's why we don't have prices on some of the stuff until we see what they're able to do. We're not trying to do something that we hadn't checked with IT or checked with other people. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel and we want to make sure it's going to work and it's going to suit our needs, not just for now, but for the future also. So that's what we're looking at. And that's our thought of part of that money. We are using it for salaries, but also a large chunk of it is for equipment that you normally can't have or get.
So after we take the car, one car, I took one car and all the salaries currently, then the amount of money we have is pretty small. And I may be the only one, but I'm gonna move that we do the $1.30 an hour raise to get $27 an hour. We fund it out of the budget. I don't see the 20 available to do that. I may be the only one, but that's what I think.
All right, then, you know,
Anybody else?
motion. Well,
We're not doing a motion,
We're not.
she's just adjusting,
we're just
she has to do the agenda, I mean, the budget, she's just making changes. We're gonna raise $1.30 an hour to get 27, she's got to change that budget.
So this 3% across the board, is that factored into this or the?
No,
proposed 3%?
everybody's getting the 3%.
Right.
And then the raises that we did for road bridge,
Right,
that's above the 3%, and that $1.30 would be above
right,
3%.
above this.
For the 21 people. Which amounts to 56,000. $56,300 something dollars, plus
Plus-
about 3,800, 3,700 FIC. Which it all adds up to 60.
So it comes out to be 60,000 and what?
Yeah, because you're not adding any officers, so
And
you
what we're anticipating, is this correct, that we really, I mean, to get to 60, we're only at 20, we have like 20, like, we would be $40,000 short. Would you like to do this? Yeah, I guess that's what I'm.
Well, what's happening is he's talking about this year, and we're talking about next year. This year, he's got about 60,000 left over.
I'm almost zeroed out in that line, Judge.
But the reason you're zeroing out is you've been buying stuff.
Yes, sir.
You've been buying, I don't know what you're buying, but you had about 60,000
Close.
last time we talked.
Yeah,
And so you bought some equipment from there. Keep in mind, the whole real reason for this was to get paid up. Pay the actual, and so they're getting, he's basically getting the best of both worlds. You get all new equipment, all new everything, plus, then he comes to us for more money. I don't care, I just was asking him, I asked him to please come up with some of that SB 22 money to help the taxpayers out. That's awesome. That's what I want to, Bobby, I know your thoughts are just go ahead and get it to them. My thoughts are, for us to do around 40,000, maybe, come up with 40,000, and then come up with the rest out there.
And I think it's all going to get spent in the law enforcement line.
Yes, sir.
So if we did 40 and 20, then there's 20 left, then we're probably going to turn to your line to get the proper things to do that. So it's going to come out of your budget in order to sink these body cameras and stuff, because he's out of money in the SB 22 money, because they put 20,000 for the salary. I just think we just go ahead and
The
do it.
difference is, part of the state money, part of the taxpayer money.
How many positions do you have currently open?
I have three currently open. I had one that's wanting to come to work. He's got job offers in other places. If we get to where we're gonna get to, then it's a no-brainer. He'll come to work here because he doesn't want to leave. If not, he's gonna go somewhere else for more money. Like I said, I've lost officers to the surrounding agencies. I've lost them to surrounding counties. I mean, I can compete because like we've said, and I've been very honest with y'all up front, we're getting good equipment. We're getting good cooperation. People see good things. We have a good department. We have a great group of people, and we have great community support. So people want to stay here. I can compete with not paying as much. That's why I'm not asking for 28 and 29.
Health insurance plan allows you.
Yes,
to pay.
But at the same time, I've got to be somewhat competitive. You know, you start getting $5 an hour difference. I mean, that's 10 to 12,000 a year. That's life-changing money for some people. So we're just trying to stay competitive. We're not trying to catch up to. We're not trying to get above. We're not trying to do any of that. We're just trying to stay competitive with the people and keep people so that we can keep our services going to the citizens of the county.
Or
That's what we're trying to do.
What if you were to use all of your SB 22 money to get where you need to be? And then you.
Okay. Let's
Well,
see.
hang on, if you don't mind, Marty.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Judge.
What if we, used all your SB 22 money as was designed mainly for salaries, and then you brought a proposal to us that we could look at for capital improvement for your department, some of these other things. But then we could decide if it's needed as much as, because right now, we don't know this. I mean,
Yes.
That way, you're using all of that state money to get the pay up.
I'm using $200 and something thousand of the state money right now with $25 an hour. So I'm gonna use another 50 cents or $1 to get up to where we're gonna get to. We're not gonna get to the 27. We're still gonna be below. And whenever, if and when the state ever decides, you know what, we don't have the money, we're not gonna give that money, our salaries right back down to $23
What do you think's
an
gonna
hour.
happen to the Limestone County Commissioners Court and the taxpayers when that happens? If that ever happens, what do you think's gonna happen?
Well, when we drop to $23 an hour, because we hadn't brought up our salaries any, then we're gonna take a hit on everything.
That's what I'm saying. So
So,
that
I mean-
argument is a very stale argument because at that point in time, you're not gonna be saying, okay, well, they took it away. Let's just get on back down to 23. No, you're gonna be saying, we gotta, Limestone County, you now gotta find the money to raise us back up to 28.
I'm definitely gonna come ask for that, yes.
Yes, we are.
I mean, I don't have a choice on that because I don't want to lose everybody to go somewhere for taking that pay cut. So what we advocated last year and what we're trying to do this year is keep the state, keep the county money coming up, but also add to it and supplement it with state money to get us to where we need to get to. You keep saying we're gonna get to $27 an hour. With what we're talking about getting $1.30, we're talking about Limestone County paying a $25 an hour for a deputy. We're paying $23 an hour. That's what the county pays, $23 an hour. We add $2 an hour on it from SB money. That's part of that 200,000. So we're at $25 with the SB money. So we're looking at trying to get the county money to $25 an hour.
You go out to $27.
With the SB money, it'll be 27. The county money is only $25 an hour if we get the $1.30.
You're still putting $240,000.
Yeah, we're still putting 200 and something thousand dollars. Because our county pay is $23.12, I believe, an hour. That's what you pay a deputy to put on a gun and go out and do the job, $23.12.
And that's me.
And we add money from the SB to get to $25 an hour. So all we're asking for is with the
Why does
3%,
$1.30 get us the, I mean, that's not competing in my mind.
3% on the
Oh, the 3%.
on the $23 an hour
I got it.
is almost
Then the
60, 70
argument,
cents.
Maurice, quit talking about the latest and greatest IT equipment and use all the money you can to get you as high as you can get.
But then we're gonna turn around, Judge, and use IT money to get what he's gotta have IT wise, which still comes out of tax rate.
What we're gonna come back to, Judge, is the same thing we did a couple of years ago. We came and y'all worked with us and we were very appreciative of that, but we used ARPA money and everything else. We needed lock systems for the jail and we needed new camera systems for the courthouse and the jail. So those were two big projects that could not be funded at the same time. So we had to do one project for 200 and something thousand out of one budget, another project out of another budget, and then try and merge them all together. So what we're asking for, what we're looking for is the $1.30 on top of the salaries to get to a county contributed $25 an hour. We're still gonna use the SB money, but instead of having to come to the taxpayers and say, hey, we want to increase taxes so we can fund a $200,000 project, we've got state money over there to do that with. So we're trying to take that big project and pay for it while we have money, not wait until we don't have money to come out.
So let me ask you this, right?
Yes, sir.
If you didn't get this money,
Yes.
you would still make your CDs the way you've always made them.
Yes.
You'd still do what you've always done.
Yes.
We still carry on like you've always carried on if you didn't do this with this new project.
Yes, sir.
Is there any way you think that if you knew for sure you could get almost anything you wanted for 4 years, could we put it off for a while? Could you continue to do what you're doing?
So what the court decides, we're just
I'm
trying
just
to,
asking, could you do it?
we can do it. We've been doing it. We're just looking at trying to move up into the current times and trying to improve what we have with what the DA's office needs for court prosecution. That's all we're trying to do.
Okay. And of course, they've got tons of money too down there that they could use to help out maybe, but my question I'm asking you is, could you live along for 4 years knowing that at the end of that 4 years, you're gonna get anything you needed to make you do it?
With the risk of trying to make you mad, Judge, or not make you mad,
I'm not gonna-
we're limping along yearly trying to get stuff done. So what we're trying to do now is use the money like that to be able to get these projects completed without having to come to you and ask for a large chunk of money at one time. We're asking for a very trivial amount to get deputies paid at $25 an hour. That's all we're asking for.
Which with the SB money would make it 27.
Would make it 27 with the SB money.
I think we
That's
can
all.
afford the $1.30 an hour with $60,000. It's either gonna be, if we take 20,000, we do 40 and 20, then we're just gonna end up getting 20 out of it, not continue to make the cameras.
I agree with you.
I'd rather just do $1.30 and be done at 60. It's really, we're swapping over $20,000.
And it's all gonna be shipped.
And it's gonna just be shifted to a different spot in the budget if we don't, because he's gonna come in here and say, we can't make these cameras safe unless we spend another 20. Well, you know, then we're going to do that.
All right, we've only been doing it for how many years now? How many years have we been doing what we've been doing?
A long
A
time.
long time.
And I'm still on,
Bobby, the point I was trying to
Windows
make.
7 in my office, then it doesn't function right.
Bobby, I was gonna tell you this, the point I was trying to make is, if we could get by without the latest and greatest of everything, including $70,000 vehicles, everything, then in about 4.5 years, we're gonna have that very expensive facility out there paid for, about almost 850, how much is it? $800,000 is gonna be gone, and then you can start doing some things, but anyway.
So did we add it or did we didn't?
Well, I don't know how I'm not adding it to my proposal, so I guess whenever we, do the budget, y'all can, change it. This is a workshop, so I don't know if we take action now or not, but whenever we actually do the actual budget, I guess we make that change.
Whenever y'all want me to add it.
I hear two people, I know Michael will want to go, but he'll do anything along with it. So, it's, as far as I'm concerned, but it's,
Who are you? We added it. What number are you looking for?
No, I mean, I'm okay with it, I just, it's fitting.
$1.30 times 21 officers is, there it is right there. It's $27.30 is $27.04 times 21 is $56,784 plus FIC that, that's it.
you know, it's almost, every year we kind of go through this, and every year it's kind of like, well, are you anti-law enforcement? Because you're trying to save money. No, I'm not anti-law enforcement. What I am is trying to save as much money for the Limestone County as we can. I wish I knew exactly what it took to run every department. And every department needs different amounts. We do as much as we can. We're trying to give the road and bridge people a decent raise this year in addition to the 3%, so that they can, anyway. It's a fight that's always been, and the good news is within the next couple of years, I won't have to fight it anymore, so. Y'all have anything else you want to talk about on the budget, workshop? If not, we'll
We
move
can
on.
talk about the road and bridge.
What about it?
Can we talk about it? Sure. What about adding a couple of, we fix to lose our seasonal help and can move some, but we can go to part-time. One of them I'd like to hire, we got a place where you probably put them for full-time, but we can't, under the seasonal, we can't have them listed as seasonal, but part-time.
Out of all those positions that we came up with, how many do you have open right now?
Two.
You have 2 positions
And,
open?
and one of them medical leave.
So you.
Yeah, which we've got to address that some way. He's been off what now, year?
Over a year. And fix to have another surgery.
Yeah, but I don't know what the procedure, we actually had a meeting, or had a class at the commissioners conference to discuss that. Unfortunately, I don't remember anything that said, but there's a particular way you've got to handle workman's comp in releasing that employee so you can fill the position. We're not stuck with that forever.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we need to find out what we've got to do to open that so you can get another mechanic. I mean, we're hurting in mechanic.
Well, we're not having nobody applying really for that.
And we may have some things in the works that brings another.
But that's what we maybe like to keep you part-time on maybe a little longer. Cause we still got stuff.
And we got stuff in the budget for, part-time.
The way the part-time rules are, and you might want to check with the treasurer because she does handle all the payroll stuff, but I think what it is something changed a few years ago. It has to be a part-time, full-time. If you're just having them classified as just strictly a part-time, they can only work for you for a year, and then you have to get somebody else. If you call it a part-time, full-time, where they also receive the retirement benefit, then you can have them as long as you need them. But there's some kind of special law that was put in some years back on that.
I'd like to see us explore that, because this employees are good.
Well,
Okay. Do you have anything else for Road and Bridge? Do you have any position ever?
yes,
Yeah, got one.
Two.
Well, county, three counting the mechanics. So you do have two open. So you could move one of these part-timers into one of those positions?
Yes.
Okay. That's your call.
that's what we're planning on doing.
Okay. Anything else that you want to visit with?
We appreciate the raises, you get to a little more. And one other thing is on the, what you got classified as bridge 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd like to bridge 2 and 3 as welders and try to move them up a little bit, because welding is a very specialty deal, and we do a lot of it.
Okay. I don't know that you've seen the proposal yet. Have you?
Yes.
So,
I still on 2 for welders, I think they are.
where did you get that from?
From me. I didn't know I was talking to him about it and making sure that they had all the departments and all the employees on there, or not employees, but positions. So I sent it to him to clarify that I had the correct positions.
You're talking about this sheet right here,
Yes,
and that's what we plugged into the budget already.
yes.
And on the bridge, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm gonna tell you, no matter what you do, you're not gonna make everybody happy. So we either, at some point in time, stand up for what we think is right, or we don't. Because this is a great example, if you'll never make 190 people happy.
Well, and we've raised them quite a bit. You know, that, not only, that's
That was
3%, and this is how much
That's
is on the top of it.
until out, we did this.
I did not realize that the department did not.
You know, we make it.
I took it under the assumption that it did.
That's where
All right,
I'd like for y'all to consider, take a look.
They moved.
okay. Anything else for the road and bridge? All right. Let's go ahead and move out of the workshop and move into some budget transfers. We've got quite a few of them to do today. First one's going to be discuss take action on budget transfer 663 for dispatch. And this is going to be pre-employment testing, 2 open positions to fill furniture and equipment. We're getting out of furniture and equipment. How do y'all feel about that? Got a motion?
Second.
And a second. Any opposed? That'll pass. All in favor say aye. Aye. All right. Any opposed? All right. Let's keep going. Item number B is going to be a budget transfer 664 for road and bridge. They want to transfer some money around so that they can transfer money to the dump trailer purchase rentals. This is going to be, this is for that actual, for record on the actual dump trailer we bought, right? Okay, have a motion?
Second.
Second, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Let's go into emergency management. This is going to be for the purchase backup repeaters. We've already approved this. It's just going to be for record, that's $6,000. Once again, we've already talked about that as approved, it's just for record. So second. Motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, let's go to facility management. This is going to be to cover additional repair costs. Let's see, we're asking to move $5,000 around. So, what's your feelings on that? Got a motion?
Second.
And a second. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? No pass. Next item is going to be for the county jail. And that's going to be transfer 667. It's going to be to cover the extra labor cost, firearm inspection. They're moving quite a bit of money around. We have a motion.
Second.
And a second. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? All right, we have another one for road and bridge. Let's see what this one's about. This is going to be the debris removal project, used equipment, seasonal and overtime salary and signs. this was quite large, but this is something that we visited about in previous meetings, and this is going to be for record on how to move this money around.
I'll make a motion, we do that, but I want to discuss it.
All right, but before we discuss, let's get a second.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, now for discussion. Go ahead.
I'd just like to ask the question, because that debris removal stuff is on there. The guy's probably 50 to 60, 70% complete, and he's doing a great job.
Yes, sir. One I've seen.
Everything I've seen on the roads that I've looked at has been really good. I don't know, but he's doing a great job.
Okay.
And if we get to the end here, and we've still got a few roads that have got to be done, Road and Bridge has started picking up, as they've started to catch up, they've started picking up some on their own. But we still probably may have 4 or 5 roads that need to be completed.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Let's go to, sheriff's office. In the sheriff's office is, to cover outfitting of a new truck. I don't understand this. What is this?
We're trying to get some of the equipment for vehicles, trying to get ahead and trying to get some of the stuff that we have.
What lines it coming out of?
Well, he's asking for, $3,000. Is this in addition to the money we've already spent to update these trucks?
Yes, sir, part of that is for a system to hold the gear in the back, kind of like, it's not a toolbox, but it's a deal that sits in the back of the truck to hold the equipment and hold all the stuff that doesn't get bounced around, all your evidence.
Just moving it out of the gas hole?
Yeah, we're just moving it out of one line into another line.
So, second.
And motion and second, any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Last thing is the adjournment. A motion? And a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.